Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today I am here with an update on the Alexis Sharkey case, so if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright you guys, so there was an update that came out yesterday regarding Alexis Sharkey that I'm going to share with you in this video. A lot of you, if you're following this case, might already be aware of this update, but her death has officially been ruled a homicide. And I'm going to read this little article that came out regarding it and then give you guys some of my more recent thoughts around possible suspects and how I feel about everything. Before I start reading, this case is extremely heartbreaking, and it's heartbreaking anytime someone passes, let alone when they're young and it feels like they have their whole life ahead of them. Not saying that when you're older it's not sad, but you guys know what I mean. Like, you haven't even lived, hardly a quarter of your life. Like, Alexis wasn't even 30 years old. She was very, very young. And so when something like this happens, it's really sad, especially when you combine it with the fact that it was sudden and the fact that her family wasn't even where she was when all of this happened. What I'm going to do is I'll link my first video about Alexis in my description box if you're interested in more of an overall picture of this case. That will give you a little bit more information. But then, she passes. Her family's not in the same state as her. Her family was in her home state of Pennsylvania. And there was basically an argument in between Alexis's husband, Tom, and Alexis's mother in order to obtain Alexis's body so that they could give her a proper funeral service. Tom was basically just reinforcing his control that he had over her, in my personal opinion, by making her mother wait and making the family wait so that they could, do what they needed to do to begin to heal and try to accept what happened to Alexis. It's just so, so sad. So it says here, social media influencer Alexis Sharkey, whose nude body was found along a Texas roadway after she went missing over the Thanksgiving holiday, was strangled to death, officials announced Tuesday. The Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences ruled Tuesday the 26-year-old Houston resident's death was a homicide. Sharkey went missing on November 27th, and her death has been shrouded in mystery ever since. For me, I don't necessarily look at her passing with a lot of mystery. I think that there were some questions, but at least for me, I had a general idea of who I thought did this pretty early on, but maybe that's just the way that I was looking at it, which is fine. It says her mother originally told local media that she left her house that evening following a fight with her husband, Tom Sharkey, and did not take her car. The next morning around 8:30 a.m., workers discovered her body, which had no visible wounds, on the side of the I-10 service road. The location was just 3 miles away from the apartment that she shared with her husband, Tom. Following her passing, friends of Alexis spoke out about her relationship with Tom, alleging she had been planning for a divorce and had grown afraid of him. The husband later claimed that there was no rift in their marriage. I mean, obviously he's going to say that there's no rift. What is he going to say? Yeah, we were fighting every day for, the past 3 months. No, I don't think so. Originally, Tom was listed as the next of kin in the medical examiner's records, but that was changed sometime later to her parents. And that's how he was able to maintain control and not allow her mother to take possession so that they could do a proper burial and proper funeral service for her. He was also the one that took it upon himself to drive to the medical examiner's office and ID the body, even though he had no clue if it was even Alexis, because at that time it was a Jane Doe. The Houston Police Department said no arrests have been made or charges filed, and the matter is still under investigation. So, super short update, but here's what I think is going to happen. I personally believe that we're going to hear about an arrest in the next few days. I think that the police have a good idea of who the main suspect or suspects are. In my opinion, I think it's a suspect, singular, not plural. And knowing the history of Tom and how he was very controlling, there were reports from Alexis to her friends of DV in the marriage, and the fact that there's been information come out about his relationship with his ex-wife also being very controlling. Once he was separated from his ex-wife, he actually sent NSFW photos to her employer in order to humiliate her. The way that Alexis was found was also very humiliating, in my personal opinion. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion, but it's humiliating, and it is super, super sad just that, you know, now people know of Alexis as, you know, this girl instead of the girl that is young and thriving and has her whole life ahead of her. I think that it's very, very sad. And again, my heart goes out to her friends and family. And if Tom wasn't responsible for this, I will be very, very, very intrigued to hear who was and what the confession sounds like and what kind of details continue to come out about this case. But if I was at like a 70% before when I did my first video about Tom, now I'm at like a 98%. I just think that there's a very small margin of who else could have done this, you know? I think that the proof is all there based on what she had told her friends, the you know, the text that he had sent Alexis basically saying, oh, your ex-husband, I'm not good enough for you. I think that he was a manipulator and a control freak. And I think that he, you know, allegedly what I think might have happened is she was in the shower. He, being a control freak, probably had the code to open her phone. And he either saw a text from Sebastian or he went into Instagram and looked in her DMs and saw that she had been talking to Sebastian. It might have been very flirtatious and maybe even something beyond that. We don't know. And I think that he confronted her when she was either in the shower or right when she cut the water off and was getting out of the shower. And I think this time, instead of him just doing the maneuver and her passing out like she had told her friends had happened previously, I think this time it was something more permanent, and he had this oh shit moment, like, what do I do? She's not waking up. And I think that he began to cover his tracks from there. But that's all alleged. I have no proof. That's just my opinion. Once the full autopsy report is released to the public, I will be very interested to see what other details are on it. But no matter what kind of details come out, it's not going to allow this family to start to heal until someone has been arrested, and that's not going to take away from their pain. But I do think that in a situation like this, once you feel like you have some sort of answer, it can allow you to start the healing process, no matter what the healing process looks like for you. So my thoughts definitely go out to Alexis's family and her friends. This is a really, really sad case, but I did want to give you guys this update. So I'll keep you apprised of the situation, but for now, if you like the video, please leave me a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.